Good morning again, Midway. It's great to see you on this morning. I can't wait for today's meditation. We're going to really dive in deep. So as you guys know, last time I was on here, I gave you a little bit of my story and my feedback. So if we want to just condense that down into a smaller, shorter version, I am an opera singer who was really overcoming performance anxiety. And that was my journey into discovering my methodology that I teach, my exclusive breath sequence that we use for NamaSing. So the way NamaSing works is that we practice basically vocal technique without singing in a state of meditation. And we're doing that by synthesizing phonation using a vowel-shaped hiss. So I practice usually on 4 vowels, right? E, ah, o, and oo. And we're doing that within a hiss. So it's just basically shaping your tongue and giving into the hiss. If you hiss regularly as if you are mimicking a snake, for each of those, all we're going to do is really just shape our tongue in the way that we would when we're saying each of those vowels. So if I'm going E, my hiss is going to sound as if I'm saying the word he. Ah, it's going to sound like ha. O. And oo is as if you're mimicking the wind. So we blow each of these hisses towards a particular spot in your mouth or on your head. And what we're doing with this is simply finding where your body is going to resonate the best and easiest, and where technique fits the best for you. So that's why we're trying to really put your technique in your body, get it out of your brain, this really, really analytical, fear-based mindset that people think of when they think of technique, as if we're doing math problems in your head, as if everything needs to line up great in order for me to get this high note, right? I want all of that done with. That's what we're eliminating with NamaSing, so that all you can trust is what's in your body. So I have 7 touch points. Today, we're going to go through 3 of them, the first 3. And of course, there will be more if you guys were to follow my work and let me know at NamaSing _ on Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook also, just at NamaSing, or join the NamaSing Collective, our group there, where I give meditation tips every week. But today we'll do the first 3. And I'm going to show you where those touch points are right now. I want you to use your tongue or your finger if you're comfortable. And we're just going to reach up and find the place on the back of your top front teeth. Just as if you're placing a target there. Feeling that, we're going to call that touch point number 1 for when we go into this meditation. If you bring your tongue up from that on the alveolar ridge, so if your teeth are down here, right? And then this is the flat part above your teeth is your alveolar ridge. Just in the center of that is going to be touch point number 2. Just placing your tongue there, feeling a target. And then touch point number 3, it's on the top of your hard palate where it begins to curve. Now, some of you might be having a difficult time with this right now because 25% of the population has an extra dense bone growth in the top of their hard palate. This is perfectly normal. And if you feel that and you have a hump in the top of your mouth, that's okay. Spot number 3 is literally going to be the midpoint of your hump. That sounds crazy. If not, you all have no idea what I'm talking about, because your mouth just domes and you'll be able to feel this curve very easily towards the front of your mouth. Those are our 3 touch points that we're going to go through today. So during this meditation, we're going to blow towards these on our E-shaped hiss and on our U-shaped hiss. So if we want to do those all together right now, just like I did before I demonstrated this alone, doing them together, we'll just start on a regular hiss as if you're mimicking a snake. So go ahead and take a hiss. We'll make that hiss an E shaped now. Just say E with your tongue naturally, speaking it out loud, E, and observe where your tongue is in that position. You're just going to keep it there for the hiss, and you're going to hiss. Beautiful. We're going to hiss on an oo now. Excuse me. I'm seeing the brightness outside my window. The sun is rising. We're going to hiss on an oo. It's going to sound as if you're mimicking the wind. Okay, so the thing I have that people are most commonly confused about before we go into this meditation, since this is a bit complicated, out of the blue, I'm not interacting with any of you directly, but the thing that I get people most confused about is that I'm using your tongue just to find these touch points. I just want you to get an idea of where they are. You can also use your finger, like I said, but when I say find touch point number 3 with your tongue, and you feel for it, I want you to take your tongue back down before we start hissing to that place in a vowel. It's just as if you're imprinting a target with your tongue there, and you're going to blow towards that target. You're not going to keep your tongue at that touch point and try to blow hiss to that target. Just take your tongue up, make the imprint, plant the target, take your tongue back down, and then you're going to hiss on that vowel to that touch point. Does that make sense? This is a rhetorical question, but that is my most common confusion, is that we're not leaving the tongue up there. We're bringing it down, back down into that vowel so that we can hiss. So before we begin this, the other thing that you'll need to know is that if you are not a singer and you're not going to work on placing this technique into your body, that is okay. This is also another form of breath work. Great for your mind, great for your relaxation, good for your lungs, reinvigorating your body. The studies on breath work right now, guys, are incredible. It is changing people's lives, learning to breathe. So if you're not a singer, feel free to participate. It's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of benefit. It'll be really fun. And if you are a singer, this is really going to put things into your body. If as you leave this, keep in mind that these are only the first 3 touch points. And if you want to experiment with that and find your own, that would make me so happy. Just know that my methodology isn't entirely correct. There are holes that you can fill up in it, that you can listen to your own body and say, I know how to put this into my body. That's cool. But I do ask that after you finish this, if you just keep these 3 touch points in mind, as you're singing, just think about them and try to sing towards them. See how it's going to change your technique. See if it changes anything in your body or in your mindset. Or if you want to go back and just do this meditation by yourself daily and see if it changes anything. If you're trying to put your technique into your muscle memory, it's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks of daily practice, 10 minutes a day, just blowing towards these touch points. And you're going to really, really see a difference. So if you are seated in a chair right now, just go ahead and see if you can get your posture feeling really nice. So feeling your hips line up with your shoulders, seeing if your head is too far forward, too far back, just really creating nice space and length there. And if you're in a chair, Making sure both of your feet are flat on the floor. We don't want any crossed legs, any kind of anything there. Just really maintaining your body's nice, beautiful alignment. The other option is that you can be cross-legged on the floor. In that case, the same thing applies. Or sitting Japanese style on the floor. In all those cases, just really making sure you're feeling your spine line up with your hips and shoulders in one line and lengthening through the crown of your head, just noticing what it feels like to be completely in line. So just like yesterday or Tuesday, I'm going to find a focal point in front of you that comes easily. Just seeing that focal point. Take it in with soft eyes. We're taking 3 nice, long, deep breaths here. You're going to close your eyes with the exhalation of your third breath. We'll begin with those counted breaths again. Taking an inhale on a count of 4, and exhale on a count of 5. Beginning that now. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue to breathe here on your own count. I'd like you to remind yourself where touch point number 1 is, whether you need to use a finger or a tongue, just feeling for that spot right behind your top front teeth, the very back of them, mentally placing a target there, then returning your tongue back down to neutral. Taking 2 more counted breaths here, beginning those now, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start those 3 E-shaped hisses to touch point number 1. Now, inhaling. Number 2. Number 3. Take a break to get back into our body, reconnect with the breath here. We'll return to the concept of tracing your breath. So watching your breath come in through an open nose or mouth, traveling down through your throat to the center of your chest before it begins to break off and fill your lungs. And on the exhalation, just feeling your body return to a safe, calm, neutral. And on your next breaths, feeling for your center, really zoning in as you feel your ribs expanding on that inhalation and your diaphragm engaging, slowly pushing things down. Feeling for that point where your inhalation ends and your exhalation begins. In the very center of your torso, perhaps it's right underneath your navel, the energetic center of your body. Really tuning in and engaging with this. Take a couple breaths here on your own, just to notice what's happening in your center this morning. And take your tongue up to find touch point number 2, directly above your top front teeth, that flat ridge of your gums before your mouth begins to curve into your hard palate. Just mentally placing a target here. Return your tongue back down to neutral. And take a couple more breaths down into your center. As you're breathing down into your center, on the inhalation, feeling it really grow and expand into your torso. And on the exhalation, reaffirming its grounded place within you, really creating a nice, wonderful, solid rock center for your energy in your body. I'd like you to mentally picture a tether going from where you envision your center to that target you've placed at touch point number 2. Just trusting that your air is going to effortlessly pass through on this tether, on this line. We'll begin those 3 E-shaped hisses to touch point number 2. Now, inhaling. Number 2. Number 3. And we'll re-engage our breath now, getting back in tune with our body, taking a break before touch point 3. See if you can make your inhalation and your exhalation audible so that you can hear it. Whatever that means to you. Maybe it sounds like the ocean. Keeping in mind there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just making your inhalation audible, your exhalation audible, then allowing yourself to feel calm as you're hearing your breath come in and out of your body. Take your tongue up to find touch point number 3 in the curve of your hard palate, right where it curves, or in the center of your hump. Then take your tongue back down to neutral, knowing that that target is mentally there. And all we have to do is aim towards it. Take a couple more breaths that are audible, that you can hear. Really allowing your body to relax into that sound that it's creating as it respirates and brings on life. We'll begin those 3 E-shaped hisses towards touch point number 3 now. Inhaling. Number 2. Number 3. Coming back to your breath again. I'd like for you to reconnect with your center. Really getting in touch with that energy. Feeling it expand as before on your inhale and solidify itself, grounding you on the exhale. Do this a couple of breaths. Now I'd like for you to envision your mind floating down from your head all the way down your spine until it drops and unites with your center. Feeling this unity with your mind and your center, and acknowledging you may be having thoughts or analyzing if you're doing this correctly, just preconceived judgments, the way our mind is used to thinking. We're just going to see that that's okay. We will have thoughts. The absence of them is not the goal, merely to observe them, let them float by, and put them aside for a point of analyzation after this practice is over, knowing that if it's really important, those thoughts will be there waiting for us. We're going to stay with touch point number 3. If you need to remind yourself where that is, that's okay. Just knowing that target is still mentally there. Go back to your breath, back to the expansion of your center, the reaffirming on the exhalation. Picturing this together with your mind expanding, creating this wonderful space in your torso for your thoughts and your feelings without judgment. And exhaling, letting go of those feelings and judgments and letting them pass by. We're going to begin 3 U-shaped hisses towards touch point number 3, as if you're mimicking the wind, like a blowing towards touch point number 3. We'll begin those 3 U-shaped hisses now. Inhaling. Number 2. Number 3. Coming back to your breath. Making once again your breath audible. And on that audible breath, on the inhale, Feeling your spine really lengthen and expand. And on the exhale, giving in to the floor or chair, supporting you underneath your body. Giving thanks for gravity, feeling yourself falling into the floor or chair, then the floor or chair meeting you and pushing you back up. Feel for touch point number 2, the straight ridge before you get to your top front teeth. Begin those 3 U-shaped hisses towards touch point number 2. Now bring your tongue back down and inhale. Number 2. Number 3. Coming back to your breath. Really tuning in and engaging to just notice your breath this time. See if you can observe where it's going. Maybe bring your awareness to a particular part of your torso. Is that section of your body moving with your breath? Is your breath deep, low, shallow, smooth? Maybe it's blocked by some sinuses this morning. Not offering judgment, just giving observation to what your breath is doing. And now try to see if you can make your inhalation and your exhalation of an equal length. Making sure you're zoned in enough with your body to focus on that task. Remember where touch point number 1 is. The back of your top front teeth. Feeling for that with your tongue or finger. And bringing your tongue back down to neutral. Once again, zone in to that equal inhale and equal exhale. We'll take those 3 U-shaped hisses towards touch point number 1. Now, inhaling. Hiss number 2. And number 3. Zoning in with your breath again here. As you inhale, it's really taking in gratitude for beginning your morning with a promise to take care of yourself through your practice. Like taking in gratitude for your body here, honoring that promise to yourself, and exhaling any tension, any anxieties. We let them go as we begin this day. Producing gratitude for feeling our body, giving into our natural respiration, and honoring the body that we were put on this earth with. Taking in a final inhalation, exhaling, bowing your head in gratitude. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you, Midway Festival.